how you doing, Jolivet? How you doing? This is Kenny. Can you hear me?
Wonderful. We hear you just fine.
Oh, okay, great. Well, I'm your Facebook buddy, so I just wanted to, let you know it was a pleasure to, to talk to you and stuff like that. How you doing?
Wonderful. I'm doing wonderful, Kenny. Thank you for calling.
Okay. Yes, I just have a question for Brother Umar, and that is, the question is that as the black community bands together and grow and form a cohesive unit towards working towards the goals of black achievement, should we or should we not shun the black homosexual and lesbian community or collaborate with them? How do you interact with them? How do you interact with the black homosexual community and the black lesbian community?
Okay. First of all, let me say this. I believe that every human being on earth, is entitled to a basic level of human rights. Let me qualify what that means. Human rights, the right to eat, the right to live, the right to be free from torture, those types of rights. I do not believe that people have the right to get married, especially people who are interested in marrying someone of the same gender. Homosexuality, is an antithesis to African culture. You cannot be a supporter of African culture and be a supporter of homosexuality because African culture is about life and the procreation of life. Homosexuality is about the destruction of life. People often say, can you support the black homosexual movement and be a black nationalist? No, you cannot, because a nationalist is someone who is interested in preserving the life of the nation. If you are a homosexual, then you are preventing, the next generation from coming into existence. If a man only has sex with a man, and if a woman only has sex with a woman, there's no new life being born. So if the black community buys into this homosexualization initiative wholesale, then we will be reducing our numbers, which is the reason why homosexuality was brought into existence here in the first place as a 21st century initiative. The homosexual movement goes back to 1972 in the United States. We know historically homosexual culture originated in Greece and Rome, which were anti-feminine cultures. They believed that the woman was the embodiment of the devil or Satan. And as a result of that, no godly man would have sex with a woman. So instead, they had sex with each other, and more specifically, they had sex with the little boys. And so many of your Greek philosophers, most of your Greek philosophers were homosexuals. As you see now in the Roman Catholic Church, the men can't even get married and have sex. Why? Because to come unto a woman is an act of Satan, because the woman is Satan, according to Greco-Roman culture. Right. But in Africa, we never had any belief in homosexuality. In fact, up until recent times, there wasn't even a word on the continent. On the continent, 2,000 languages, not even a word, that would describe sex between two people, of the same gender. Some of the earliest or the oldest references to homosexual behavior you find within the Code of Abraham, or within Hebrew Israelite law. That's some of the more recent. That's the oldest references you find to homosexuality. And you also know that by that time, the white man was amongst us by the time of Abraham. So there was a need to have those types of laws because that influence had already crept in. But prior to that time, prior to the so-called intellectual sophistication of the European, which was only at 1,000 years before Christ, there was no learned white man on earth before 1,000 BC. So before 1000 BC, black folks never thought about homosexuality. But ever since they've got here for the past 3,000 years, that's all the hell we've been hearing about. You cannot be for life and be against life. You see, the reason homosexuality was chosen, to be pushed in the black community is because it was decided that it would be one of the best ways to reduce the black population rate. AIDS is working, but not fast enough. Mass incarceration is working, but not fast enough. Police brutality, black homicide is working, but not fast enough. Homosexuality is the most powerful black population reduction strategy in the world. Why? Because the black people carry it out themselves by simply not having sex. In order to incarcerate, the man must be living. In order to kill, the person must be walking. With homosexuality, you prevent the sperm from meeting the egg. You prevent the sperm from meeting the egg. So if the American social order can influence all black boys and girls in America to only have sex with other people of the same gender, they can split our numbers in half in the next 20 years. Homosexuality is population extermination. That's all it is. You can read the NSMM 1974 memorandum from Secretary of State Henry Kissinger, where he talks about sex education, which really was nothing but a code word for homosexual education. They knew they would be pushing this 40 years ago. Okay, this is about reducing our numbers. So if you love black people, you can't be in love with homosexuality. I didn't say that we had to demonize and castrate them. I look at black homosexuals the same way I look at black alcoholics, black drug dealers, black sexual predators. They are suffering from an illness, and they need help. And I don't believe that you should torture, kill, maim, or segregate the sick people. I believe you heal the sick people. They may have to be contained until they're healed, okay, but you don't deprive them of basic human rights in life, okay? I believe that we have to embrace and heal because many of them can be brought back into their consciousness of what they are. I know a lot of homosexuals, some of whom I've worked with myself, who are no longer within that mindset once they were able to study the triggers that brought them into that lifestyle in the first place. So this whole belief that you become homosexual or lesbian and that's how you stay, that is a lie that the American social order is propagating. We got to embrace and treat those brothers and sisters. But if they don't want to be treated and if they want to continue to push that type of thinking onto young black children, then they have to be ostracized from the rest of the community because we have to have a code of ethics. And one of the top codes of ethics in our independent African-centered community has to be no sex with people of the same gender.